These people realize they were wrong about you, but it's too late. You don't associate with haters. You see, these people, they were so eager to believe the worst about you. They were so eager to believe all the negative things people were saying about you. But then when they realize you're not that person, now they're trying to backtrack and be buddy-buddy, be friends. They want to be cool with you. They want to be in your inner circle. They see the kind of woman you are, and now they're trying to backtrack. These people realize they were wrong about you, but it's too late. You don't associate with haters. Beware of people who are eager to believe the worst about you, because you have to ask yourself, why did they believe what other people were saying in the first place if they don't even know me, if they never had an interaction with me, if they never took the time to get to know me? How can they dislike me based on somebody else's opinion? That's foolish. That's weird. That's childish. And the reason why it's too late for them to come back into your life, because as focused, leveled up, confident, non-needing validation women, you don't have time to deal with someone who shows signs and symptoms of being a hater, of being a jealous, envious, or just toxic person. Any person who believes the worst about you based on somebody else's opinion of you, that person is not only showing that they're very miserable, very bitter, but they're showing themselves to be an airhead. Now, disclaimer, I'm not talking about when everybody has the same opinion of one person based on their patterns and behaviors. I am not talking about that. I'm talking about people who are eager to believe the worst about you when you have done nothing wrong to them, when you have done nothing wrong to anybody else, when you are trying to be most pleasant, when you typically have people say a lot of decent things about you. You don't really have any drama, any issues, but these people went out of their way to show just how bad of a person you were, and then only found out later that you are not that person. They try to come back into your life. They try to get close to you, and you put them in their place. You see, these people realize they were wrong about you, that their dislike for you, that the way they might have been mistreating you, that the way they used to think about you was not based on their own first impression. It was based on what they heard. And that's the reason why gossip is so toxic and so miserable, in my opinion. You see, you'll have some people who are so eager to believe the worst about you because the image they see in front of them is very intimidating, very threatening. It might make them feel insecure in some kind of way. So all it takes is for somebody to say something negative about you one time and they just run with it. All it takes is for someone to say they don't like you and they just jump on the wagon. But then when suddenly they see how you are as a person, as a woman, they see how people gravitate to you. They see how you are a relatively positive person. They see how maybe if you're a spiritual person, how God is using you. Now they want to come back. Now they want to be your friend. Now they want to be your buddy. These people realize they were wrong about you, but it's too late. You've already exposed them to be a hater, and you do not have haters in your inner circle. And I know some people might be thinking, what about forgiveness? What about showing grace? What about all these different things? If somebody is eager to believe the worst about you without even coming to talk to you, without even trying to get to know you if that's what they want, those people cannot be trusted. And for my spiritual minded people, it says to be gentle as doves, but wise as serpents. It is not wise to deal with people who have shown that they will believe any negative thing about you despite not even knowing you. And how do you know that? Because when these people recognize that they're wrong about you and that you are not that person, but you don't take them into your life, they start telling on themselves. You see, jealous, envious people, people who are easily impressionable, people who somehow want to believe the worst about you, they'll start telling on themselves. They'll start talking about how so-and-so told me, the way you kind of came off and just how you were. And, I just heard these different things and you're not even like that. Why did they believe it then? Why did they believe it right off the bat? Why didn't they have a conversation with you or get to know you for themselves? And see, these kind of people who think they can backtrack into your life after they've shown themselves to be haters, shown themselves to be messy, they have this impression of you that you're so kind, so nice, so sweet, that you're going to overlook the fact that they didn't just treat you nasty, that they haven't been treating you nasty, that they haven't been, having a weird energy or vibe towards you. And then suddenly you're supposed to forget about all of that and become best friends with them or become very close with them. No. These people realize that they were wrong about you. And now they're trying to associate with you. But you don't associate with haters. When people are eager to believe the worst about you, despite not knowing you, despite not having an interaction with you, despite not really even getting to know you, those people are showing that they are jealous and insecure around you. You only want to believe the worst about people whom you're threatened by. If you're not threatened by someone, you are typically a person who will give people the benefit of the doubt until they show you they can't be trusted. But women are very good for this. When they are already a little bit jealous or envious or have some kind of animosity towards another woman, all it takes is for somebody to say, yeah, she really isn't that nice. Yeah, I can see it. I can see it. Can you tell that I've heard a lot of these kind of conversations? Haven't even had an interaction with the girl. And yeah, I can see it. I can see that she does kind of have a vibe. She does kind of have a, And then all of a sudden, when the issue is out of the room, they want to start being your friend. That leads me to my next point. Let me sip some of my water. These people recognize they were wrong about you, and now they want to associate with you. But it's too late. You don't associate with haters. Beware of people who believe the worst about you when they're around certain people. And then when those people go, they want to start being nice to you. And you see, the older you get as a woman, the more focused on yourself you become. Very rarely, you'll probably recognize these things, but you don't care. Because once again, when people expose themselves to be haters, jealous people, envious people, you just don't associate. You don't try to play nice with haters. You don't try to play nice with people who have already shown that they want to believe the worst about you, that they want to believe bad things about you. You don't associate with those kind of people. So you normally don't give any time or attention to them. You just, okay, they're trying to make conversation with you. And you focus on yourself. These people realize they were wrong about you, and now they want to associate with you, but you don't associate with haters. Be aware of people who change up depending on who they're around. Normally, the person who tried to sour their perception of you is someone who is easily jealous and triggered by you in some way, and they try to get other people to be the same way. And see, these people who suddenly realize that they were wrong about you, that you're not that kind of person, those people will still continue to act like they don't like you around the person who really doesn't like you. But then when that person is away, they want to be close to you. If you're over the age of 25, and I just say period, but normally women over the age of 25, you become more aware of these kind of things. You don't want to deal with someone who wants to secretly associate with you, secretly be your friend, secretly deal with you away from the others who have some kind of issue with you. Not only does that open you up to a lot of toxicity and drama, it's just not good for your spirit as a woman, as a person. You don't want to deal with people who say, oh yeah, I know you're not like this, I know that. But then when they're around other people, they're treating you like your public enemy number one. That is very petty. And thankfully, most grown women, because of your experiences and things that you might have been through, these kind of toxic behaviors, you no longer deal with these kind of things. I'm thankful that I can give you these lessons. I can get you kind of aware of these kind of things, but I am not dealing with those things in my own life today. A lot of these things that I have witnessed in other people, I've dealt with some of these things, but on a day-to-day, I don't deal with these kind of things. And it's because I recognize that some people, they want to believe the worst about you because they're often jealous and envious, or somehow they just want to see you do bad, so they want to perceive you as being a bad person. People who are often jealous and envious and realize they were wrong to feel that way, it's because they want to perceive you as a bad person because other people perceive you as a bad person. And you see, some people, and I can hear it now, somebody might be saying, well, why would somebody think that way about you if you didn't do anything to them? When people are envious and jealous of other people, man or woman alike, you don't have to do anything necessarily wrong. You could be being yourself, but if you're not paying attention to them, if you're not giving them the energy that they want from you, if you're not giving them the time of day, if you're not allowing their negativity, their toxicity to rub off on you, they're not going to like you. It doesn't matter. You could come to work, come to school, walk through your neighborhood, handing out cookies, giving things to the homeless. You could be helping out in the Lord's house. You could be doing so many things in your life, and people will hate the fact that you are a bright light. These people realize they were wrong about you. Too late. You don't associate with haters. You could be the most purest of purest person. You could be just so beautiful. You could be an amazing person who helps everybody. You're willing to listen. You could be an angel, and somebody will hate on you because you are like that. So the idea that, well, why would somebody dislike you if you didn't do anything wrong? Sometimes people's own insecurities speak louder than the reality. And when people try to make you look like a bad person and try to make others think you're a bad person when you've done nothing wrong to them, it's their own insecurities screaming louder than the reality of the situation. But see, when these people realize they were wrong about you, that they shouldn't have believed jealous, envious haters, they shouldn't believe their bitter coworker, they shouldn't have believed their bitter auntie or cousin, they shouldn't have believed the person who was spreading all the nasty rumors about you or trying to make other people feel some kind of way about you, because you, being the wise woman you are, it's too late. You don't allow haters, jealous, envious, easily impressionable people into your circle. You don't want to deal with people who are quick to believe the worst, not just about yourself, but about other people. Women who are typically bitter and miserable are quick to believe the worst about other people, especially other women. Sometimes a woman's jealousy and envy will cause her to believe the worst about someone who has done nothing but be nice and helpful and actually try to be a friend to her. But if she gets envious and jealous enough of you, nothing that you've ever done will matter. She will just focus on how you being you makes her feel less than. These people realize they were wrong about you, and now they want to be friends, but it's too late. You don't associate with haters. And for people who think that it's somehow rude or mean or nasty or not godly, not showing grace to people because you don't want to invite a hater into your circle, there is nothing ungodly or mean about not wanting haters, people who like to believe the worst about other people, in your circle, in your life. Those people are showing themselves to be very miserable, very jealous, very toxic, and it's only because they feel bad about themselves. And what's worse is the people who were under their spell that believe the things about you that turn out to not be true or to be taken out of context. You see, when people want other people to believe the worst about you and it's not true, and people are dumb enough, and I have to say exactly how it was coming to me, they were dumb enough to believe the worst about you, it's because a part of them already wanted to feel some kind of way towards you. And the bitter, miserable hater just gave them that fuel they needed to start that fire on the inside of them that I don't like her, I don't like her, I knew she was this way campaign. But they turned out they were wrong. And people who figure that they're wrong about you and they realize that you're not bitter, you're not miserable, you're not a bad person, it's normally because the person they believed has now turned on them. You see, sometimes when women are bitter and jealous of other women and they try to get others to gang up on them, those women will typically start to turn on one another, especially if you become the person who is starting to show interest or some kind of like for the person they don't like. So not only will these people be wrong about you, but expose themselves to be a hater in the process, now the person they try to gang up on you or attempt to gang up on you with, that person will turn against them. That person will not want to be bothered with them. So then they want to trickle over to you and try to be friends, but it's too late. You don't associate with haters. Anytime somebody is eager to believe the worst about you, they actually thrive on it. Those are not people you want in your circle. How will you know that these people were eager to believe the worst about you, but then suddenly try to turn heel and act like they're your buddy? They want to be your friend. It's because they will expose themselves and ask you questions like, well, have you ever done this? Or like, I was just hearing all these things and, have you ever said this? Because you don't really look like the kind of person who would say that, but I just need to know, like all this kind of childish, petty things. And I really hope to God that those kind of things stop when women get out of their teens and in their 20s. But I can tell you that a lot of these kind of things still happen to women in their 30s, 40s, and so on. Where you have some women, if they are not yet mature or leveled up or focused on their own personal development, focused on their own spirituality, focused on living their own lives, they will waste their time trying to explain to a hater, to somebody who already wanted to believe the worst about them, why they're a good person. And that leads me to my next point. What you don't do when these people realize they were wrong about you, but it's too late, you don't associate with haters, under no circumstances do you go sales pitching yourself to someone who is already eager to believe the worst about you. If somebody has a bad perception about you and it's not based on reality, let them believe what they want to believe. Let them feel how they want to feel. People who are eager to believe the worst about you don't deserve your explanation. They don't deserve your time and or energy wasted trying to explain to them why you're a good person. And I'm not really like that. And I don't know why you believe that about me. And many women, many of us, especially in the teens and 20s, when you kind of sometimes are more concerned with everybody liking you, you'll find yourself being silly, sitting there explaining like, I don't know why you thought that about me. I'm not like that. I'm nice. I don't do that. I don't do this. Girl, please. Believe what you want to. Whatever. If it's not based in reality, your hands are clean, displaying anything to anybody for what? I wish I would. I beg your finest pardon. Explain myself for what? To whom? Why? People are not worthy of your explanation, especially when you've done nothing wrong to them. Their feelings. And yes, as feminine women, we care about others' feelings and perceptions and all of that. But the feminine queen says, if I didn't do anything to you, why would I explain myself to you? Because you wanted to believe the worst? That's your problem. It's not mine. There are people who will love me and like me, knowing me, without explanation. That's petty. That's childish. And you can't afford to have petty, childish people in your inner circle, in your life. Not just randomly petty and childish. We all get petty sometimes. We all act childish sometimes. I mean those people who are eager to believe the worst about you, unprovoked. Let them believe and think what they want to think. When you know you wrong no one, and they just a hater and they just want to believe the worst, that's their problem. Or if they're so silly-minded that somebody can tell them bad things about you and they'll just randomly believe it, it's because they already wanted to anyway, and that's their problem. So these people realize they were wrong about you, but it's too late. You don't associate with haters. You don't associate with envious, jealous people. You don't associate with people who are eager to believe the worst about yourself or anyone else. You don't have time to constantly explain who you are to another person, to explain your character, your actions, or the reason why I smile so much, or the reason why I talk this way. Who does that? And see, grown women who actually make real friends and have genuine connections and bonds with people who don't require so many explanations for why you are you, they value authenticity. And when they value authenticity, they see who you are, and nobody can tell them otherwise. If somebody tells them something bad about you, well, they will know that that's not normally her character. So you must have said or done something to bring her out of character. See, people who actually love you and know you and aren't haters and aren't eager to believe the worst about you, they know your character. So they know if you are not typically the woman who, curses people out, just as an example, or get into altercations, but you were in one, supposedly, they know that that was contrary to who you are as a person, that is not typically the kind of person you are. And they won't be eager to believe that you're a bad person. They will know that something had to go down in order for her to be that way, because that's not her. They give you the benefit of the doubt. But see, haters, envious, toxic people, they're not giving you the benefit of the doubt because they want to believe the bad things about you anyway. Once you reach a certain age, honey, you don't care. These people were wrong about you. They realize that that's not you, and now they want to be friends. But you don't associate with haters. Let people believe what they want to believe. Don't go out of your way trying to explain who you are to a hater, and trust and believe that the people who are actually for you will not believe the worst about you without coming to you first. All right? Like and subscribe to the channel and share this content. Hit the notification bell so that you're aware when I post a brand new video. If you watch this video until the very end, put the high heel emoji in the comment section. I absolutely love to see it. Take care.